It's English time! Hi, I'm Teacher Mitch. Come and join me as we learn English the easy way. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to keep updated with my latest uploads. Please also share and hit the like button if you appreciate my videos. Thank you!
Hello there everyone! Our target most essential learning competency for this video is observe correct grammar in making definitions. In the previous lesson, you have learned about the different parts and patterns of a definition. Let's take a look at this example once again. Carbohydrates are a food group, including sugars, starches, and cellulose. Carbohydrates is the term. Food group is the class. And this part is the distinguishing characteristic. Tandaan nyo ang mga parts na ito ha, dahil kasama pa rin ito sa tatalakayin natin ngayon. Before we proceed, let us first define grammar. What is grammar? Grammar is the system or rules of a language governing the sounds, words, sentences, and other elements, as well as their combination and interpretation. Let's have the simple example. The sun rises in the east. What makes this statement grammatically wrong? It's in the subject and verb agreement. The sun, which is the subject, is singular, but the verb, which is rise, is plural. Meaning, the statement does not follow the general rule in English. Singular subject takes singular verb, while plural subject takes plural verb. So, paano natin itatama ito? Right! The verb should be rises to make the sentence grammatically correct. Now, this very principle should also be applied even when writing definitions. In this module, you will observe and use grammar correctly in writing definitions. You need to learn more about this topic to help you on your academic journey. In order to write grammatically correct definition of terms, the following guidelines must be considered. Let's have the first sample definition. Influenza was an acute, highly contagious infection of the respiratory tract which occurs sporadically or in epidemics and that lasts up to months. The term being defined here is influenza. Now, can you identify what is wrong with the definition? It's the verb was. It should be is. Why? Number 1 guideline. Use simple present tense of the verb after the term. Next definition. Binoculars is 2 telescopes mounted side by side and aligned to point in the same direction, allowing the viewer to use both eyes when viewing distant objects. The word that makes this definition incorrect is still the verb. Pero bakit? Di ba nasa present tense naman? Guideline number 2. The verb must agree in number with the subject or the term defined. Just like what I mentioned earlier, the general rule is singular subject takes singular verb, while plural subject takes plural verb. Since ang binoculars ay plural, dapat ang verb din ay plural. So it should be are, not is. Next definition. Narcolepsy is a disorder characterized by uncontrollable episodes of falling asleep during the day. The word disorders makes the definition grammatically incorrect. It should be disorder only without S. Why? The class or category and the term being defined must agree in number. Kung babalikan natin ang parts ng definition, narcolepsy is the term, while disorder is the class to which the term belongs. Sabi sa guideline, the term and class should agree in number. Since singular lang ang narcolepsy, dapat singular din ang disorder, kaya ni-remove yung S. Here is another example. The arteries are the blood vessels that deliver oxygen-rich blood from the heart to the tissues of the body. This time, correct na yung blood vessels dahil its corresponding term is also plural, which is arteries. Now, between these two definitions, which one is better? Courage is a thing that, or courage is the quality that? The answer is the second one. Why? The first definition is vague. Bakit naging vague? Because of the phrase, a thing. Bakit mas better yung second? Because the phrase used is the quality, which is more specific. Fourth guideline. Be specific about the class. Huwag kayong malito ha, ang pinag-uusapan pa rin natin dito ay yung class, which is part of a definition. Microphone is used when versus microphone is a device used when. The first one is wrong and the second is correct. This time, the guideline is use the same part of speech for the class and the term being defined. Dun sa first example, ang term ay microphone, which is a noun. Following it is a verb in passive voice, is used. Dun naman sa second definition, still, ang term defined ay yung microphone, which is a noun. Then, following it is a device, which is also a noun. Itong second one ang tama dahil yung term at yung class ay parehong noun. Next naman, what makes this definition incorrect? Let's consider this guideline. Whenever possible, don't use the same wordings for the term and the class or distinguishing characteristics. Sa example natin, merong same wordings, and those are the words education. Instead of writing, online education is a form of education, pwede natin gawing schooling. So magiging online schooling is a form of education. By doing so, naiwasan natin ang pag-repeat ng words. Now, in this example, a modem is a device that is used with a computer and a telephone. The distinguishing characteristic, which is that is used with a computer and a telephone, should be modified. Bakit? Guideline number 7. Make sure there is sufficient information in the adjective clause to distinguish the term from other members of the class. Aside from modem, it is also possible na meron pang ibang devices na ginagamit kasama ang computer and telephone. To avoid confusion and to make your definition clearer, there must be sufficient information in the adjective clause to distinguish the term from other members of the class. And so, this is the better version of the definition. A modem is a device that makes possible the transmission of data to or from a computer via telephone. Number 8. The distinguishing characteristics may be introduced in several ways. So, ano-ano nga ba ang mga pamamaraan ng pag-introduce sa distinguishing characteristic? First is using relative pronouns such as that, who, where, whose, what, which, when, wherein, whoever, and by which. Take a look at the given examples below. Another way of introducing the distinguishing characteristic is by using present participial phrase. For example, speech is a public address expressing thoughts and emotions. Speech is the term defined. Public address is the class. And expressing thoughts and emotions is the distinguishing characteristics na inintroduce ng isang present participle, which is expressing. In the simplest explanation, ang present participle ay verb na may ing sa dulo. We may also introduce the distinguishing characteristic using past participial phrase. Ang past participle naman ay yung verb form na may ed, d, or en sa dulo. Example: physics is a branch of science concerned with nature and properties of matter and energy. Ang first word naman sa distinguishing characteristic ay yung word na concerned, which is in past participle form. And lastly, the distinguishing characteristic may be introduced using infinitive phrase. Pag sinabi namang infinitive, ito yung verb na may word na to sa unahan. Example: sense of humor is the ability to laugh and make others laugh. The infinitive phrase that introduces the entire clause is to laugh. Technical writers should also avoid wordiness. And one way to eliminate unnecessary words is to reduce adjective clauses. There are some rules in doing this. Number 1. Drop the relative pronoun and the verb be if the adjective clause contains an adjective. Here is a sample definition. An electronic book is a document that is lengthy enough to be considered a book. This is the adjective clause or the distinguishing characteristic. Since the clause contains an adjective which is lengthy, we can drop or remove the relative pronoun that and the be verb is. So, ang reduced format ng definition ay magiging ganito na. An electronic book is a document lengthy enough to be considered a book. By doing this, nabawasan natin kahit paano ang wordiness ng definition natin. We can also drop the relative pronoun and the verb be if the adjective clause contains a prepositional phrase. Quick review. Ano ba ang prepositional phrase? In the simplest explanation, ito yung mga prepositions like in, on, or at na may kasunod na noun or pronoun. For example, in school, at the office, on Facebook. According to the rule, kapag may prepositional phrase sa adjective clause, pwede na ring i-drop yung relative pronoun and be verb kagaya ng ginawa dun sa naunang slide. Let's have an example. An electronic book is a document that is on diskette or hard drive. This is the adjective clause. The relative pronoun is that, and the be verb is, followed by a prepositional phrase, on diskette. In this case, since merong prepositional phrase, we can remove that and is, so this is the reduced definition. An electronic book is a document on diskette or hard drive. If the adjective clause contains a passive verb, we can also drop the relative pronoun and the be verb. Take a look at the given example. A campus-wide information system is an online service that is used as a central source of information at a college or university. Notice that the adjective clause has a passive verb which is used. Therefore, we can drop the relative pronoun that and is. This is now the reduced definition. There's also another rule stating that when the relative pronoun refers to the subject and the verb is in active voice, drop the relative pronoun and change the verb to the ing form. In this example, links are highlighted text that point to additional information. The relative pronoun that refers to the subject or the term being defined, which is links. And also, the verb point is in active voice. Therefore, we can drop the relative pronoun, then add ing to the verb, so point becomes pointing. So this becomes the reduced definition. Lastly, we can also reduce an adjective clause if it contains modal verbs such as should, may, can, must, and others. This is the original definition. This information, which must be accessed via the internet, is useful. When we drop the relative pronoun plus the modal and the be verb, this becomes the reduced definition, but somehow with different meaning since the meaning of the modal is lost in the reduction.
Thanks for watching!